And guys, you've read the title. I know it sounds insane, but let me tell you how this is happening where a university is profiting off of student hunger. You see, the thing is that many people put around like $950 on their card because you have a university ID at Pace, and the way it works is that you put money on your card, and you, that money is for you to eat at the cafeteria. So every time you buy something at the cafeteria, that money goes down, right? So $950. Think about this. It is running out in about a month. It's nearly $1,000 students put on their card that runs out in a month. That's more expensive than groceries. And these guys think that people have like $4,000 or $5,000 a month to spend on food when they've already spent about $50,000 in tuition for the university, right? You have people borrowing money because the tuition is so high. So after giving the university all the money they have and borrowing to give them the more money, right? And they're still going to be paying many years after they graduate. The least they could do is make sure that people don't have to go hungry for the semester. You have some students who are only eating one meal a day just to make their money last longer because they cannot just afford to add more money on their card, which people have talked to the cafe managers, people have talked to the school administrators, and all they say is add more money on your card as if we can just pull the money out of our butthole. And for a university that charges $50,000 a year, it should be guaranteed that the students will not go hungry and that they will be able to have 3 nutritious meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And things that like Pace keeps on raising the price of the food in the cafeteria, like a monopoly. And it's not even that the food was super great or anything like that. What I don't understand is if NYU and Fordham can do it, then why can't they have meal swipes where you can swipe once and then there's a general food area, like maybe there's some rice, chicken, something like that, and then or some salads and a cup of soda, right? Where they can, and they would have enough money to do it. And but I think what it is that like they just got so greedy to no end, and the food is not even that spectacular. It's just mediocre food. And you see, guys, I went back to Pace recently to try the foods to see how it was and to see what value you get for your money. And it's actually kind of insulting when you think about it. But just take a look at this food review right here. Guys, it was $9 just for a hash brown with french fries. And the french fries didn't even taste that good. They were a bit dry in my opinion. I felt as if they could have added some salt on them, but to me, it seems more like they just pulled it out of the freezer and heated them up. They did have more food selection, however, from the time that I graduated to now, but I would be more inclined to believe that the mac and cheese looks better than it tastes. Wow, now that cup of soda was more expensive than the one from Chipotle. Honestly, all the food here was kind of more expensive than the food from Chipotle overall, too. As if that cup of soda wasn't expensive, then when I go to actually fill the cup up, I see I'm getting more carbonated water than actual soda. You see, the soda it's hard to notice, but the water it's not. But the thing is that it should be the other way around if we want to call it a fair exchange. The hash brown and french fries weren't necessarily enough to be constituted as a lunch, as I still felt hungry even after having that much food, which wasn't a lot to begin with. So I got myself a salmon and tuna poke bowl, which costed $15, but the guy was nice enough to give it to me for $12.41 regarding it, marking it as a tuna bowl instead of a tuna and salmon bowl. However, when I actually tried the bowl, it was kind of cold and tasteless, but the fish did have some flavor, but nothing else in the bowl really had any flavor to it. But however, it did have more taste than the french fries, because as those french fries were tasteless without any salt or seasoning. If you are really low on funds, then at least you can have sprinkles, chocolate syrup, and a marshmallow for free. Overall, that meal costed me $25 when you think about the poke bowl, the french fries and hash brown, and the soda. And that was just a lunch. So maybe breakfast is cheaper, around approximately $10. And the lunch should be like similar price to dinner. So 25, 50, 60. So you'd be spending nearly $60 a day as a student in Pace's cafeteria just to be full. So $60 a day. And let's say 5 days a week, because maybe Saturday, Sunday you want to go out with your friends, or maybe Friday, Saturday you want to go out with your friends, maybe you want to go to Chipotle or something like that. But even if we're just talking about 5 days a week and $60, that just to remain full and be able to concentrate in your classes while you're doing homework and studying for exams, then you'd be spending $300 a week. And if we think about 4 weeks in a month, that is $1,200. That is insane. Insane for them to expect students to spend like $1,200 a month and nearly $5,000 a semester on food. But guys, let's not forget about the fact that after paying the tuition, then you still have to buy the textbooks, which cost up to $200 just for one textbook that you use for the semester, right? That is absolutely insane. That's some madness right there. I mean, guys, at this rate, like, it would make more sense just to go to Chipotle. The food will taste better. You'll have bigger portions in the burrito bowl and soda. But the problem is that, like, they force you guys to put money on your Pace ID, which means that they would get your money either way, even if you don't buy anything at all. Then they would still get your money, because by the time you graduate, that money is going to be forfeited. So they don't actually have an incentive to keep the prices lower, to maybe make the food taste better, etc. I mean, on top of that, what makes this whole thing worse is that, like, I've heard stories of students getting food poisoning, getting sick from the cafeteria food. And now if you're sick, that can put you at a great disadvantage, like when you're studying for exams, like just your concentration in class, and etc. I mean, if they're going to keep the prices elevated and keep on raising the prices, the least they can do is make the food taste better. Like, as I mentioned with those french fries, they could have added some salt on it, maybe some seasoning. And you know what? Even the french fries from Five Guys tastes better than the french fries in the Pace's cafeteria. Like, I'd rather spend money on that. I mean, Five Guys is relatively expensive for fast food, but at least I'm getting a meal that actually tastes good. Man, I'm telling you, the greed is insane. It is some next level greed. I mean, out of, like, they collect $50,000 from students, and they feel the need to charge students through the roof for food. Wow. I mean, you see, like, they spend all that money in the renovations, the tuition money they spend in the renovations. They spend it on real estate, stocks. But they can't even give the students a decent standard of living and eating. This is ridiculous. Anyways, guys, so you can go to Chipotle, even any restaurant nearby, or the other thing you can do is sign the petition. We started this petition like a couple of years ago, got over 1,000 signatures, but we're looking to get more, like 1,500 or 200 or 2,000 signatures. So maybe we can get some media press and attention. But even if we don't get media press and attention, it is good for you guys to sign the petition if you go to Pace, just so you can show them that you notice that we're not dumb, guys. Like, and we notice this stuff. So anyways, I'll link the petition down below in the description. If you like this video, please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe with bell notifications, and share this video. And oh yeah, also share this petition too.